Rome, 80 AD. An emperor opens the largest arena the world has ever seen. Inside, tens of thousands of people are about to watch spectacles unlike anything else in human history. This is the story of the Colosseum and the brutal, brilliant world it was built to entertain. Construction began under Emperor Vespasian around 72 AD, funded largely by the spoils of the Roman conquest of Jerusalem. It was meant to be a gift to the Roman people, a public arena built on the site of a private lake that once belonged to the deeply unpopular Emperor Nero. The location itself carried political weight. Nero had built a massive private palace complex called the Domus Aurea, or Golden House, taking prime real estate in the heart of Rome for his own personal pleasure. By draining Nero's lake and building a public arena in its place, Vespasian sent a clear message. The city belonged to the people again, not to one self-indulgent emperor. Vespasian never saw it finished. It was his son, Emperor Titus, who officially opened the Colosseum in 80 AD, with 100 days of games to celebrate. The building itself was an engineering marvel. Standing about 150 feet tall, it could hold somewhere between 50 and 80,000 spectators, rivaling the capacity of many modern stadiums. It was built using concrete, stone, and a network of arches, a design so effective that variations of it are still used in stadium architecture today. Underneath the arena floor was the hypogeum, a two-level maze of tunnels, cages, and elevators. This is where animals, gladiators, and stage equipment waited before being lifted directly into the arena through trapdoors, allowing for dramatic surprise entrances during the games. Speaking of animals, the Colosseum's opening games alone reportedly involved the deaths of thousands of wild animals, including lions, elephants, and bears, brought in from across the Roman Empire. These hunts, known as venationes, were often staged with elaborate sets designed to recreate forests, deserts, or exotic landscapes. Gladiator combat is what the Colosseum is most remembered for today. Gladiators were typically enslaved people, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals, though some were free men who volunteered for money and fame. They trained in specialized schools called ludi, learning specific fighting styles tied to different types of armor and weapons. Different gladiator classes had distinct roles, almost like character archetypes. The heavily armored secutor was built for straightforward combat, while the retiarius fought with only a net and trident, relying on speed and agility instead of armor. These contrasting styles were often paired deliberately, creating dramatic mismatches designed to keep the crowd entertained. Contrary to popular belief, gladiator fights did not always end in death. Gladiators were expensive to train, and many fights ended when one combatant was clearly defeated or yielded. The final decision on whether a defeated gladiator lived or died often rested with the presiding official, sometimes the emperor himself, and was influenced by the crowd's reaction. The Colosseum also hosted public executions, often carried out as elaborate reenactments of myths or historical events. Some historical accounts describe the arena being flooded to stage mock naval battles, known as naumachia, complete with functioning ships and combatants, though historians still debate exactly how this was accomplished given the venue's drainage system. Attending the games was a deeply social event. Seating was organized by social class, with the emperor and senators in the best seats closest to the action, and women and the poor relegated to the uppermost, least desirable rows. A massive retractable awning system called the velarium, operated by sailors, could be extended to shield spectators from the sun. Vendors sold food and souvenirs. Announcers hyped up upcoming matches. Wealthy patrons sometimes sponsored specific gladiators, turning the games into a kind of Roman celebrity culture, complete with fan followings and graffiti dedicated to fighters people admired. The games served a political purpose as well. Emperors used them to win public favor, distract from political unrest, and demonstrate Roman dominance over conquered peoples and the natural world itself. The phrase bread and circuses comes from this era, describing how free food and entertainment were used to keep the population content. The Colosseum remained in active use for roughly 4 centuries. Gladiator games gradually declined and were officially banned in the early 5th century, while animal hunts continued for some time afterward. Earthquakes, stone robbing for other building projects, and centuries of neglect gradually stripped away much of its original structure and decorative marble. Despite this, the Colosseum never fully disappeared. Throughout the Middle Ages, it was repurposed as housing, workshops, and even a Christian shrine, since it became associated with the martyrdom of early Christians, though historians note direct evidence for large-scale Christian executions, specifically inside the Colosseum, is limited compared to popular legend. Restoration efforts began in earnest in the 19th century and have continued ever since. Today, the Colosseum is one of the most visited landmarks on Earth, drawing millions of tourists every year who walk through the same arches gladiators and emperors once did. Modern archaeologists and engineers continue to study the site, using ground-penetrating radar and structural analysis to better understand the hypogeum, the seating capacity, and even how the retractable awning system might have functioned. Nearly 2,000 years later, the Colosseum still stands as one of the most recognizable symbols of the Roman Empire, a monument to Roman ambition, engineering, and the complicated, often brutal relationship between entertainment and power. Its shadow stretches far beyond Rome itself. The very word arena comes from the Latin word for sand, referring to the material used to soak up blood on the Colosseum's floor. Modern stadiums, from sports arenas to concert venues, still borrow directly from its layout with tiered seating, multiple entrances for crowd control, and a central performance space visible from every seat. Even today, the Colosseum remains an active part of Roman civic life. It's occasionally used as a backdrop for cultural and religious events, including addresses by the Pope during Good Friday, a striking contrast to its violent past. What was once built to showcase the power of an empire now stands as a reminder of just how far that empire has fallen, and how much of it still endures anyway. Thank you for watching this video, and for more like this, subscribe to Industrial Origin.